Hello, my Taurus Collective. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am, here to give you your message for July 2026. I hope you enjoy. Now, for you guys that are new to my channel, let me explain how I do the rundown. I usually pick 3 to 4 events astrologically that will be affecting the collective during the month. I believe that whenever a tarot reader is reading your cards, they're just reading the astrology and interpreting it based on their healing, their wounds, and their knowledge of spirit and science and reality in general. And so, that being said, I pick about 3 to 4 events and then I use oracle charms and tarot to kind of tell you what's going on. I do not read the cards like they're typically read because I'm an energetic reader. Okay. I only do one reading per language because I and per sign a month. So I do the English readings and the Spanish readings and all the zodiac signs only one time a month. All right. Um, Feel free to see more than one sign, as we are not an island living by ourselves, and we are kind of mixed together all in the pool. And if something doesn't affect you directly, it can affect you indirectly. So keep that in mind. I hope that helps. And so we're going to be talking about the first thing that we're going to be dealing with. Oh, BTW. Last week, about Saturday or Sunday, I did this short that said, or reading that said, "Hi, I'm back," or "Hello, I'm back," or whatever. In that reading, I talked about something super important for you, Tauruses, and that is the fact that Taurus is currently in the sign of Chiron. Like Chiron and Taurus are making friends. Now they will be friends only till I believe it's the end of this month, early next month kind of energy, and it's leaving that sign, but it will return to this energy next year. And that is next year, April. One second. This is interesting because I just got butt dialed, but let's go into a different energy. So, and when it goes back in your sign next year around April-ish, it will be there for I think like 15 years. When Taurus and Chiron are linked up together, that is for you to remove, like, I want to say a butt plug, something that's been like a wound that's been holding you back. Okay. Um, so important to say. And I feel like you will receive the information you will receive to remove this butt plug um, will come by accident. Okay. Just a side note, I needed to tell you that extra because it's important. It's like a warning energy, right? Because if whatever theme comes up in July and a little bit of August, um, that triggers something from the past that you're not paying attention to, will be hard for you to deal with back then, because it's going to be 15 years of dealing with the same thing. If you can remove it now, when you go then, it's going to be smoother sailing. Okay. Um, this is especially strong, and this is why I tell people that they should see more than one sign, because this is affecting a huge community. Because Chiron in Taurus affects people from that were born from 70, I think it's 76, 1976 to 1983 or 84, something like that, that age range. So this sign of Taurus is affecting all, like, I want to say end of Generation X, beginning of millennials, like all. So just a side note. That being said, so we're talking about July 7th, which is next week around Tuesday. Neptune in Aries does retrograde, and it will be in retrograde until the 12th of December. Why is this important? Because the last time this happened was during the Civil War in 1861 through 1865. And if we were taking that as a point of reference, this is you having a civil war within yourself. So I think that whatever this butt plug is, you probably already got introduced to some of it. It already like gave you like a little thorn in your side that you're like, "Oh, this kind of hurts. Why is this bothering me?" On Monday. And it's going to be keep going really strong until about the 23rd of this month, where we have Mercury retrograde. but Mercury retrograde and the full moon in Capricorn got together. That was a hot mess. So if you felt yourself overly angry, sad, or triggered during this week, it's because of that. All right. Your introduction was hugely long, but I think it was important. Let's see. And it just went like this. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, the devil. That's Capricorn energy. And it's talking about something that you've been entangled with. And here we have doe, a deer, a female deer. And so that is you. I feel like that is you. And that is the innocent person, innocent bystander. 1 second. Okay. I keep getting interruptions in your sign, and I think it's important to mention that. So I'm feeling an energy of the devil. So something that you've been entangled with, you being an innocent, a doe, a deer, female deer. And it's because of a misunderstanding. I'm hearing you, usurpadora. Somebody pretending to be you and transferring your energy into somebody else. This feels like destiny swap. So this is going to probably be a reading that's going to turn very magical. And if you're not magically inclined, it might be really weird for you. But destiny swap is when a person takes what is meant for you and then lives the life you were supposed to have. This talks about that. This talks about destiny swapping, somebody living a reality that's supposed to be yours. That person, because it's not theirs, they're probably having to lie, steal, cheat, and do whatever possible to keep it. Okay? But that's not their life. So, okay? Um And so you'd probably know, because usually when you do destiny swapping, people stay close because they might have to reconnect to your energy again just to get another hit of your scent, right? To pretend to be you again, like recharging their battery. Does that make sense? I hope this is making sense to somebody. So somebody needs to, whoever this is that's destiny swapping with you is definitely living close to you. And they are they are frequently having to have interactions with you just so that they can recharge their battery and still look like you. But this is like usurper energy, and usurper energy is like somebody pretending to be you. I know old words sometimes come through, but that's important. And what I'm seeing here, because this is like the first line, is that we have an axe. And when I see the axe, I see Chango. Chango has to do with the seven Orishas. Well, the Orisha energy, and that has to do with the energy of African descent. But Shango, the reason why he has the axe is because it's justice, and it's fighting for what is yours. And then we have an angel's wing, which literally tells me that spirit, not you, is going to break this. And I see you in the energy of the horse that flies. Sometimes these words don't, Pegasus, words don't want to come into my head, but thank you for whoever gave me that word. You're going to fly away from this energy because of your blood. And then we have peace. Okay, that's important because I'm going to have to look this mythology up before I mention it because I don't want to give you a lie. 1 second. I'm so happy I looked this up because I was going to give you the wrong information, but I had the right information and the wrong information. I knew that Pegasus was created from blood, right? That blood that was poured. And what I'm reading is that Pegasus, the winged horse of the Greek mythology, was born from the blood of the Gorgon Medusa when she was slain by Prometheus, with Poseidon as his divine father. That is important. And let me explain why. Because what I'm hearing from this is, so I'm a believer that mythology has to do with the human condition. And Medusa was created because she was a virgin, she was sweet, she was innocent and whatever, and she was raped while taking care of, while worshiping a mother figure, like another goddess. And instead of getting justice for her, she was made to be turned into this snake person that turned anybody that watch and looks at her into stone. And if you were thinking about a wound and the human psyche, that would be a narcissist, a person that was raped. Now, this doesn't mean raped like actual, but something that was inherently theirs. And I'm telling you, destiny swapping here. Okay. Something that was inherently theirs being taken away from them. And then instead of helping them because it was taken away from them, that which was supposed to help them actually made it worse and kept torturing them, making them into the energy of Medusa, where everything she saw is turned into stone. And the significance about that is that if you were thinking of the Bible, um, in Sodom and Gomorrah, 4 individuals were set free from the burning of everything, but they were told not to turn around because they would turn into stone. And so, what I'm seeing here is a person, because something was destiny swapped and taken from them, right? And this feels like this is many lifetimes. They have been frozen in time, repeating the same cycles over. Oh, this is karma. This is the wheel of fate. You've been stuck in the same fate because you couldn't get past the fact that you were betrayed, and you keep creating the same dynamics around you, getting hurt with the same things. But you didn't even know. Oh my gosh, this I feel like you're not even aware of this, that you were stuck in the same patterns. And so some spiritual justice energy from the other side is going to break you free. And when they finally cut the head of the snake, in other words, break your negative mindset, the blood that comes out of breaking you from this negative mindset gives you wings of Pegasus to fly so you can move forward. And this is what's bringing peace. And it's all being triggered by Aquarius. And that's important too, because you're not going to feel this. The cutting of the Medusa energy is happening earlier in the month. It's happening the first couple of weeks of July. But your wings will not be coming till the end of the month. That's interesting. That was long. I had a lot of things to say about this one. This one seems very esoteric, so just a side note. I don't know why this one's becoming very spiritual. Second thing that we're going to be talking about is July 14th. July 14th, there's a new moon in the sign of Cancer. Now, this new moon is going to be harsh because Mercury is also in the sign of Cancer. And Mercury this time around is not about bad communication, la la la, whom has stuff. It's telling you how your cables have been crossed and how you've been working out of a wound. This is the same energy, working out of a wound instead of seeing the truth of the situation around you. So you were interpreting things incorrectly. And so the new moon energy is things in the shadows. So again, this contract that you didn't know about, this thing that happened to you that you weren't aware about, this destiny swapping that you didn't know about coming to the forefront. And the Mercury retrograde is being helped by the sun, because the sun is making friends in a conjunction with Mercury retrograde, literally making the situation even more like, instead of a flashlight or a candle, it's literally putting this humongous like um faro. I keep hearing faro. What is faro in English? Um Lighthouse light all around the situation. You can see even the smallest cracks. So this is revealing something big. I'm surprised of how this reading is going, because this isn't, I think from all the readings I've done thus far, I haven't had one that was so spiritual and esoteric in meanings. Look at that. This one came out in the reading for Aries. It's love bombing. Literally, I feel like whoever was taking your energy was also pretending to really care for you. And then, like, they would come, show you love, cared for you. Oh my God, you're so fabulous. Oh my God, I don't know what I would do with you. I love you so much, blah, blah, blah. And then when they didn't need you, they would discard you. And then when they needed you again, oh my God, it's been so long. And going back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That. Look at all the things that came out. Then the next thing that came out was block and bless. Boundaries, no contact, and closure. Next is rehearsing the past. Mental script, guilt, self-blame. This is I should have known better. And then we have you're my obsession, unhealthy attachment, fixation, no peace. And then real eyes, real lies. Seeing clearly, illusion, cracked awareness. I mean, WTF, you guys. WTF. Because this looks like realizing that you're keeping some friends or some people around, but it's because they are this same dynamic. They do the love bombing. This feels narcissism. And I feel like you're getting trapped in that love bombing cycle where and discarding cycle where they love bomb you, they care for you, you're the beginning, the end, and everything in between. And then boom, I forget about you. But every single time they call or every single time they contact you, pay attention. Pay attention if when they call, they want to tell you, well, this is happening to me. This is happening to me. Look at this other thing that's happening to me. Oh, can you help me with over this? And then blah, blah, blah. And pay attention if you stop them, and this is the way that you can make it better for you. If you stop them mid-sentence and say, oh, yeah, let me tell you what's happening to me. And then you just go and take like totally bulldoze the information talking all about you. And then you say, what do you think about this? And they stay quiet and they give you no advice and they give you no help. And then they want to hang up the call a little quickly. You're knowing who this is. And you've known this beast before. Nine of Swords, losing sleep, fears. Seven of Swords, about somebody taking from you. Nine of Wands, blocking this energy. Empress, which is the energy of abundance. Four of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. I want to get the cards out before I tell you because this one is different. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So remember that one's in reverse. I don't like my cards in reverse, so I turn them over. Then we have a Tower card. Then we have the energy of the Devil and ego. And then we have two cards that turned over, the Chariot and the Justice card. And this is big because in the end here, the final outcome, there's four major arcanas. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. Now, if you guys have been in my channel before, you know that I fucking hate the Knight of Cups. Why? Because this is the one that promises the moon, the stars, and everything in between. They're the ones that say they don't know what they would do without you. They would be the ones that tell you that your shit don't think that you're freaking fabulous, but it's because they need something from you. Okay? And then we have the page of cups, literally getting a message from them and you having to cut them off and enter into the energy of victory because you're going to stand alone, and again the energy of balance. So this is the energy of Sagittarius. You have a strong placement in Sagittarius and you should look at that sign. And what I'm looking at here is that someone, whoever this is literally losing sleep, and they're losing sleep because they're realizing that their time is running out. I can't stop looking at the guy looking at the at his watch, even though there's no watch. Actually, I think he has his hand in the windowsill, but for some strange reason I see him looking at the watch. And so I'm feeling that whoever this is cyclical in your life. They'll go a long time with leaving you hanging, and then out of the blue they contact you. They leave you a long time leaving you hanging, and then out of the blue they contact you. And what I'm seeing here is that they're seeing that it's coming, the time that they have to contact you. And they're coming with the intention running towards you to steal again, to take again, to like totally drain you out again. And why? Because this is your karmic lesson with this individual, whoever this is, okay? Or this situation. Um, and then we have the energy of the Nine of Wands, and the energy of the Nine of Wands is the energy of learning to block them, because this is your abundance for you. And it's interesting because the Empress card is kind of sandwiched between blocking them with the Nine of Wands and Four of Pentacles, not giving them what they want. And this is why it's important that you listen to when I'm talking to you, because this is exactly what I told you before we even got here. Because what I'm seeing is blocking them and not giving them what they want, which would be redirecting the conversation so it's more you focused instead of them focused. And when they ask you a question, say, I don't really know. Like, I mean, did you do research on that? I'm like, I'm kind of lost right now. And then give yourself like kind of an excuse of why you can't answer their questions or do something that they want. Oh, yeah. Like right now, I can't help you out with whatever it is that you're asking because like I don't have a car. I'm kind of my the economic state right now in the world is a little bit tight and I have to make sure that I stay balanced at this time. I can't help out with that. So give an excuse. And what I'm seeing is the Ace of Wands with the Six of um Pentacles in reverse. This is going to trigger them. They're going to be triggered to take an action because you're not giving them anything. And what they're going to trigger you to do is first, they're going to start cutting cords with you, like no longer wanting to talk to you as much, no longer communicating with you as much, no longer being around you as much. And that is how you're going to be cut free from this demon energy, right? This person's narcissistic energies, this person's low vibing energy, this person's malicious intent. That's how you're going to cut it and move forward and bring balance into your life. Justice and balance both being the same, and this balance in your mind, but also balance in your emotions. I'm feeling like what is happening is instead of getting angry with yourself of how did I not see this from this person, instead of getting disappointed about, man, why can't I see these patterns? I remember that person telling me and I ignored them thinking that they were the bad guy of a situation, but they're really not. One of those things. Instead of being in that cycle, what I'm seeing here is having to be in the cycle of realizing that let's take action on this and let's play their game. They want to play games that they care about me and blah, 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 homeless stuff. Let's make them prove it. Let's create a situation that when they call me or when they're requesting some help, I can't give it to them. And I'm going to make it a habit. Or if they're giving me gossip about another person, you can be like, well, I'm going to call them later on today, so I'll ask them about that situation. And they'll say, oh, don't tell them it was me. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, but I think I will because, they might be asking me where this information is coming from. And then that creates an ending of this cycle because they're not going to want to gossip with you and lies if they know that you're going to hit up the person and ask them what's up. So this one, again, Taurus, I don't know what's up with you, but this is very like facing a false magician, like somebody that pretends they have resources or they know a lot or that they are your friend when they're really not. The next thing is July 26th. July 26th, this one's a big day because there's a lot going on. First, Saturn goes retrograde in the sign of Aries until the 20th of December. This initiates the Great Reset that started on February 20th. And this is the shadow aspect. So on February 20th, you were activating this energy of, yeah, this is who I am for my whole existence. I actually figured out what I wanted to do and how I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to start embodying that um, and changing my 3D reality to make it happen. But this part over here is the exact opposite. This part over here is what is hidden around me that I don't see that is blocking my movement forward. So this is a removing of the mask. And I'm already seeing that you're going to start spotting the narcissistic energies that are around you and no longer feeding into them. And then the last thing that happens this time is the shifting of the nodes. And this is important because just like the world has the north node and the north pole and the south pole, the astrological wheel has the north node and the south node. And that is the magnetic pulls that pull you in a certain direction. North being the elevated version and south being the things that you have to release, right? The north is going from Pisces, which is the old world because Pluto used to be in Pisces, to the new world as Pluto is in Aquarius, and this is moving into Aquarius. This is realizing how before you might have thought people had magic, but they didn't. They just read you. They knew how, they were just a really good spy, or they were just a really good like detective, and they can see subtle movements in you and subtle ways that you talked and whatever. And like gave you answers that triggered that. And that is kind of narcissistic and kind of sadistic at the same time. And moving from there to the energy of the real magician, which is the spark of light that is inside of you that makes you completely unique and that you can interpret things in that manner. And if we were talking about external, that is the difference, seeing the difference between real and fake. But if we were talking about internal, we're seeing how we were lying to ourselves because of old wounds and traumas and whatever. And now it's time for us to embody our truest self. And if we were looking at the south node went from Virgo to Leo. And Virgo to Leo is important because Virgo is the energy of stagnation due to over planning. And Leo is the energy of impulsive movement due to ego. So that is what you're trying to release as you're moving into the top. And that is 18 months of that. So I'm going to see how it's going to be affecting you. We're stepping into a new life. And I knew it because of the fact that you're starting to delete old people from your energy. It's the best way to explain it. Just delete. Swipe right. Thank you. Next. Okay, these came upside down, but I'm not reading these upside down because they're oracle cards. We have self-indulgent, focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Yes, that's exactly what you have to be. A little selfish. Okay. I'm not talking about being them. And this is why the South Pole is so important, because Leo being there is knowing the difference between healthy boundaries and becoming what you're trying to block. Okay, so it's that healthy medium. And then we have a love call. someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. Then again, you're entering into a new reality, a new world, and a positive movement forward, right? And you're thinking about yourself. My thing is starting to loosen up. Oh well, that doesn't matter. And you're starting to move forward. But what do we have here? I feel like this person is somehow connected to your energetic field. And when good things or bad things are happening to you, this person knows. And the good things happening to you triggers them to call you to tell you something that is going on in their lives, so that you return back to your unhealthy patterns. A card fell on the floor. Let me grab it. Now, I did want to tell you something. In the background, I have music playing, and the song that's playing is from Linkin Park. It says A Place in My Head. Yeah, that's what it's called. No, A Place for My Head. And it literally was, when I pulled this that fell on the floor, I kept, and the part of the song that happened was the one that says, you try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. I think that's where you're going to be at. Then we have butterfly, relationship evolving to a next phase, healing from an inner child and growing, healing your inner child and growing. I do believe that the reason why this person was so alluring, they seem like your friend and you want them around, was 8,000,000,000% because of the fact that they smell like your trauma. And then we have seduction, attraction, flirt, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. I mean, you're entering a new cycle in your life, and you have to decide if you're going to stand up for yourself with self indulgence, or you're going to fall for the same shit again. The same shit again. So, all right, let me tell you what's up. The Seven of Cups. The King of Pentacles in reverse. The Five of Pentacles. Again, the Knight of Cups. And I want you to see the Knight of Cups in this one. Instead of it being a horse that it's riding, it's jumping on a person's back as they're offering you a fake cup. Literally, there's confusion here because you're like, oh, but this person's so stable, so grounded, so secure. Look at, they got their shit all together. Everything is kind of awesome, blah, blah, blah. But you're not seeing that they actually have a lot of lack in their lives because they're only telling you what you want to hear, right? And you're actually carrying them. And so this is making my head itch, you guys. That's big because that tells me that's something that, like, it's a headache. It's a nuisance. But what I'm seeing here is the energy of they're not even in your same timeline in reality. Let me explain it this way. Okay. I'm a big believer that you cross paths with people if they're in the same dimensional reality that you're in. And that for me is an awesome gauge because if I know that I left a reality and I left a place that have certain frequency of people, I will not see the people. Even if we live in the same neighborhood, even if we live in the same community, you won't see them anywhere. But I gauge if I'm lowering my frequency, if all of a sudden I talk to a person or I befriend a person or I hang out with a person and all of a sudden these people that I know I have changed realities and not in the presence of start appearing around me. And I'm like, ooh, I did a misstep and I'm gonna have to figure out what I did wrong so that I can backpedal and just kind of like, nope, I'm not opening that door anymore. Um, I think I need to tell you that so that you're present of it and you're realizing it. So let's say you make a get together with a person and you both agree to meet in a certain place and you meet. And then after you meet within the week, you start seeing people from your way past that you haven't seen like in forever. And you just happened to cross paths with them at a gasoline station, at the grocery store, or walking down your neighborhood. And you're like, the hell? I've never seen this person ever. Child, you have just lowered your frequency and it's time for you to go backwards. So I feel like this is somebody that is hidden to you. It's your blind spot. I hear Virgo, and I have to tell you that. Then we have the Knight of Blades and we have the Empress, and they're moving quickly back towards your energy where they're toxins, mind you. And the Star, because they know that you're going to shift again and it might be harder for them to reach you. Look at why I say this their toxic ways. This guy's wearing a mask and so is his horse. They're coming quickly towards you because you're still confused about the energy that this person is carrying and embodying, and you still open the door for them because they are the King of Pentacles in reverse. That means they're running in lack. This energy is running in lack, and that's the reason they're coming towards you because they're dead broke and they need your help. So every single time they're crashing out, boom, they're right next to you and they want you to carry them. And they're coming quickly because they know you're about to shift again. And once you shift, they can't reach you. Strength card. They're telling you resist, resist, resist. Ace of Goblet. Resist and ignore your emotions that they're tricking you this month of July. Three of Wands, Sun card, because an opportunity is coming that's going to bring you absolutely joy, and this person wants a piece of it. And no, we have the Hanged Man with the Six of Wands. Your happily ever after is being delayed. High Priestess, Four of Cups. Until you get the message, Justice, Three of Pentacles, that you need to balance out some people or something that you're working and collaborating with. Five of Wands, Queen of Wands. There is somebody that's working against you behind your back and delaying your movement forward. Six of Cups, Four of Wands. And it's somebody that forms part of your foundational relationships, your social network that you've known for a while. It doesn't have to be forever, but you've known them for a while. And so it's weird because your entire reading was kind of just talking about somebody that wants to destiny swap with you. Somebody that wants your joy and fulfillment, opening the door for their movement forward and just leave you back in fucking limbo. Somebody definitely is doing some kind of, it can be talking behind your back. It can be using their resources. It can be contracting people. It doesn't matter what it is. And I don't want to take it magically, but definitely kind of feels like that, like that they're doing rituals or they're paying for rituals to like convince you that they're like woo woo, like they're good for you. Here it feels kind of weird, y'all. Anyways, I hope this helps.